evening everyone, my name's Rose Davidson from Does Biz. How are you tonight? And welcome to Rose Does Biz Basics, Business Basics, sorry about that. Each week I'll be talking about topics relating to small businesses, whether you are a startup or you have been in business for a while and just need a guiding hand and perhaps an information update. The first in this series is top tips for new entrepreneurs, how to avoid the mistakes that waste time and money. It is primarily for new entrepreneurs, however, those who have been in business for a while may also benefit. There will be an opportunity for a question and answer session for about 5 minutes at the end of the broadcast. If I don't get to your question during the question and answer, be assured that I will answer it after the broadcast is finished. So please feel free to leave your feedback at any time, as this will help me in making improvements as I go along. So thank you for being here. And welcome. So, top tips for new entrepreneurs, how to avoid the mistakes that waste time and money. So finding your niche. I'm not sure that everyone knows what their niche is or how to go about finding it, but just let me give you a definition. It's a position or activity that particularly suits somebody's talents and personality, or that someone can make his or her own. It is an area of the market specializing in one type of product or service. So what that means is that you define your business to suit a particular group of people that your business will service. So sometimes finding your niche is not an easy task, and it took me some time to find mine. In fact, it took me almost 2 years. And I started this business in 2015 knowing that I wanted to use my administration skills to help other businesses grow. So I decided to become a virtual assistant, but quickly realized after conversations with others in the industry, I wanted to do more than just be a virtual assistant. I actually wanted to help manage someone's business and take tasks off their hands and manage them, so I changed my focus to becoming an online business manager. But no one really knew what an online business manager was. They just freaked out thinking that I was going to actually take over their business. So trying to explain the difference between being a virtual assistant and an online business manager took up so much time, I just gave up in the end, because people were saying to me, manage my business, is looking at me like I was deluded or something. Anyway. So I became tired of trying to explain the difference, and I decided I would change my niche to business coach or consultant. However, that didn't really fit what I was trying to do either. So I needed to work out who my avatar was, or my niche market. And I would say, well, everybody. I can do whatever I do for everybody. And they'd say, well, you can't do that. You have to you have to pick something. You have to narrow down. You have to drill right down to almost like the person that you're going to be servicing. So after some serious thought, I knew that who I most wanted to help were female entrepreneurs. And this is because female entrepreneurs wear many hats, especially if they are a mum in business. So they have very little time to try and run their household and to try and run their business. So you need to really ask yourself these questions if you're trying to find your niche. So one is, what do I see a lot of people in my target market complaining about and asking for help with? So if you write those points down, you'll be able to realize that there's some commonality in all of the people that you're wanting to help. And what do I love doing and I know I'm really good at? So what is your zone of genius? So if you're really good at photography, but you've been working in something else, but perhaps you're a videographer and you could maybe combine the two. So you could perhaps do weddings or families or babies or animals or whatever, so you might be able to combine them both. But whatever your zone of genius is, you need to find out what you're good at, because there's no point doing a job if you don't like it. That's why most people get out of the corporate world. And the third question is, what is their number one issue and how can I solve it? So how can you solve their issue? What is their main pain point that they're trying to overcome? Is it, time management? Is it they don't have, I don't know, their admin processes in place? All sorts of different things. And then there's a 5-step formula to finding your niche. So you need to evaluate your passions and skills. And this sounds really basic, I know, but it makes a heap of difference. As I just said before, if you don't like what you're doing, there's no point. So, how can you attract someone if you're unhappy with what you're doing? And figure out if there is a market for your niche. So I know when I was doing the VA and online business management, there is a great market for that. However, trying to break into it, because to be honest, people are sending most of their work overseas, and there's not a lot of work here for Australian VAs, not that I know of anyway, because I'm not in that circle anymore. But you need to have a passion. So having a passion for a particular niche may not be enough, and you have to have more passion for your work than the people you want to serve. So you need to narrow your niche down. As I said, you have to, what colour hair do they have? What restaurants do they go to? How many children? Are they married? Do they have, what kind of business do they have? There's just a lot of things that you need to know to be able to find your perfect avatar. So check out the competition for yourself as well. You see so you can go onto Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and find out what people in your area of expertise are doing, and get some ideas from them, because that's a great starting point if you're just beginning in business. And number 5 is to test it. So if you haven't found your ideal client just yet, and perhaps there's a few things missing, then you just need to keep testing and tweaking and till you narrow it down to specific needs. So I have given my avatar a name. She has an age, she has a family situation, she also has a number of children, and where she lives and what she does for a job. So I've worked that out for myself, and I think it's been helpful in having me focus on what I want to do. Also, you might use certain aspects of your own situation to round out your avatar's profile. Specifically, some marketers use certain aspects of their former self to help create their avatar, meaning that what was life like for you before you started using your product and or service involved with your business venture. By all means, feel free to leverage your own situation and the pains and challenges that you've dealt with to help create the details of your own customer avatar. And finally, one critical element for your customer avatar is that they must have the pain that is associated with the solution that you are offering. Very important. Oh, I've skipped ahead of myself. There we go. Very clever of me. So customer avatar is, as I said, is simply a detailed profile of your ideal customer within your target market. And the questions, as I said, that you should be asking, things like, I don't know, you could ask in order to properly define it, you might ask, where does my avatar hang out? What website do they go to? What do they read? What do they watch on the telly? What do they do in their free time? What are their goals? Who are their heroes? Who are their enemies? Who do they want to please? Who are they responsible for? Who might let them down or or failed them in some way, and what keeps them up at night. So that's their pain points. So you need to write those answers down, and then you need to look at the bigger picture about, oh my goodness, there we go, and look at the big picture and narrow down your niche and your avatar. So just remember that the avatar dictates your messaging, and once you have your customer avatar nailed in, you're 80% of the way there with your marketing. And your content needs to be written with your avatar in mind. So basically, you need to tell a story. So your brand and branding, what are the differences? Well, brand is not branding. They are two separate things. The difference between brand and branding is one is a marketing tool and the other is an action. It's the biggest confusion that there is in business is the use and interchange of the words brand and branding. Some people also call advertising branding, but that's not even close. Branding is about defining, while advertising is about promoting. The fact that many graphic designers do not know what branding is or how to accurately describe it makes matters worse, particularly because business people expect them to know. Of course we do. We go and get them to do something, make a logo, get our social media packaging done, whatever, and we expect them to know what those words mean. And some designers use brand and branding interchangeably, reinforcing confusion instead of supplying clarity. A brand is a thing, a noun. Branding is an article, a verb. This is more than just semantics. It's about the fundamental understanding of a core marketing tool. So what is your brand? Your brand is the result of the branding effort. Your brand describes who you are and what you do by the use of visual identity, verbal dialogue, and tone of actions. It is utilized for virtually all of your marketing communications. It is how people identify and know and remember you. And branding is the act of creating a brand. The process involves positioning your business in the market, carving out your own place, devising brand strategy, how you will reach your goals, creating your name, which is your verbal identity, designing corporate identity or product identity, which is your visual identity, designing and writing brand messaging, verbal and written tone, and setting brand standards about how you keep your brand consistent and strong. So I know there's a difference between brand and branding, and it can be all quite confusing, and it's really important that you know the difference. So let's talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. Do you ever find that you suffer from it? Yeah, imposter syndrome. Yep, I'm not good enough. Someone's going to find me out. Oh God, I'm just terrible. So you need to identify the triggers that bring about your imposter syndrome or feelings of imposter syndrome. So you need to defeat that by learning which individuals and situations shake your confidence. You can win this game of inner critic, whack-a-mole, if you want to, if you recognise and confront the things that lead you down the self-doubt path. Awareness starts your healing process. Flip your script. Learn to listen to yourself when you deny your achievements. I'm so guilty of that. Train yourself to respond differently. If a colleague or friend compliments you, Don't let yourself say, oh, it was nothing, or I just got lucky, or instead say, thanks, I'm excited too. I worked hard on that. Reaching out, you need to reach out. You're not alone unless you allow it to be that way. Reach out to a coach or others who believe in you. Outside support can fend off the crippling effects of the imposter syndrome. Allow others to value you and to cheer you on. And when they do, listen to them, because they can see what you're trying to do, and they can see that you're not failing. They can see that you're being a good star. And own your future. Very important. Why would you try if you weren't afraid you couldn't succeed? Don't let the mouthy, self-doubting voice inside your head hold you back from the things you want to do. Even if you don't succeed initially, it takes courage to seize opportunities despite doubts. Prove to yourself how much you can do when you let yourself try. And there's a great video on TED Ed explaining the science behind imposter syndrome. It's called What is Imposter Syndrome? It's really great. It's a cartoon. It's not very long, but it really explains a lot about how to overcome imposter syndrome and gives you some help and some guidance in that. So that's about all we have for tonight as far as the presentation is concerned. So if you enjoyed that, perhaps you could like to follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, and on Facebook and on YouTube. The details are scrolling across your screen as I speak. And also I'd like to give a shout out to WordPress, WP Engine, Insightful, and TubeBuddy. I'm an affiliate, agency affiliate with those businesses. So if you want to reach out to me, I can put you in touch with them and get you a great deal. And if you'd like a copy of the ebook that the tonight's slides came from, you can go and find that at doesbiz.com /shop/ and you can get a copy there. So if you have any questions, I'm looking forward to getting them and answering them for you. Trying to find my little tongly thing. Well, doesn't seem like there's anybody online tonight, so hopefully they'll catch the replay. So the replay is available in my group, which is Rose Does Business Basics. You can find it on Facebook, and the copy of the replays will be in there from future. And I have an offer at the moment that for the first 100 people who sign up or ask to enter the group, it's totally free, lifetime access to all content that I post in there. And after that, then the group will become private, and new members will be charged a one-off fee of $50, and that will give them lifetime access to all content. So to be one of the first 100 people to get in, you get in for free, and you get lifetime access to all videos and all content that's within there. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you in there and having a chat with you. Anyway, I'm going to sign off a bit early tonight, so I'll see you again next week. It's Rose Davidson from doesbiz.com, and thank you for joining me.